One of the biggest questions that's coming out for the Chessnut Move right now is, how about the battery life? How long are these pieces going to last for? First, we need to understand how the battery drains. So when the piece moves, that's using battery. So sitting on the board, not using as much battery. But when the piece starts moving around, that's when it is starting to drain the battery. Today, I'm going to test how long these pieces will last on a board moving around constantly. I'm going to speed it up for you, and we'll check out the results after we can drain the battery on these pieces that we have here. Okay, so there we have the pieces moving over and over. I made sure to do the black king moving every single move so that we could get an accurate count. I did this test over 700 moves, and the black king is still on good battery because the board actually tells you if any pieces are running low, and it's still got the green light that everything is okay. I could sit here for hours doing this test, but I think 700 moves of one piece is pretty good to give you the confidence that these pieces are going to last a long time. So these batteries on the pieces are a lithium battery, and they can go up to 1,000 to 1,500 full cycles before they start to wear out. And even with that, they can actually go longer than that. Now, as you can see from my test here, I was able to move a king 700 times on the board. I did 7 runs of the pawns moving through the board, and they're all fine as well. So to give you an idea of that, let's have a look. In your standard typical game of chess, the king only moves about 5 or 6 times on average. There might be times when they move a lot in the end game, and there might be times where they only move once when they castle and then they get checkmated. So for 700 moves of the king, I think we're doing pretty good on the battery life here, because a lot of people had concerns about how the batteries would go on the pieces. Would they be stuck mid-game? But honestly, I'm having a harder time keeping the battery on my camera going while filming this than I was actually doing this test. Now, obviously, the battery might go a little bit dead over time if you have it sitting around never charging it. But when you're playing on the game, 700 moves of the king, you're looking at one charge lasting for about 140 games. So that is a lot to go for. And of course, the pawns, they're going to be doing only a few moves per game as well, because they're limited on how far they can go. So I'm feeling pretty confident with these pieces. If you've got any concerns about the batteries on these, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you are thinking about buying the Chessnut Move or any other Chessnut products, feel free to use my code Whiggi, to save between 12 and 17% off. All right, that's it for the test. If you're concerned about the battery on these, don't be. They seem to be working pretty well for me. I was going to do how long does it take to charge, and I will let you know in the comments below when I do fully charge this king, but I really wanted to wear him down to 0% battery before charging him. I was hoping I could kill the king in this test, but I couldn't, so we're just gonna have to wait to find out. All right, if you haven't already done so, hit subscribe and I'll see you next time.